Hey guys, Glue25
and Archer9234.
But episode 130 of Ranger Review. Today we have the Power Rangers Megaforce, the Gosei Great Megazord, aka Gosei Great from Tensou Sentai Goseigers. Alright, so now we have Gosei Dragon. Now of course this is the main component or the body of the Gosei Great Megazord, and this is what Red pilots in the series. Now the function is, it has wheels, so you can still roll them, and it can flap his wings like a real dragon does. But sadly, unlike the show where his neck can actually bend, you can't bend any of the necks here. But it's a nice thing, and oddly enough, you can move the little horn thing on the back, on the head. But other than that, it's not bad.
The one thing I particularly don't like is that the dragon's feet are just like that. They can't move. They're just.
Also, another complaint is that the wings are really huge. So now we have Gosei Phoenix. Now this is actually Pink's mecha. Now this doesn't even look like pink to me in my opinion.
It's mainly white.
It's mainly white. You only see is the pink on the top. And this one in the show, they actually show it as it comes from a jets-like things. You can all of them have wheels, which is really nice, and that's really cool about it. And of course, you still have the connectors for when you perform the other combinations later on in the series. So now we have Gosei Black's mecha, a snake. Now this snake is actually like they show in the show, a train, and it actually looks like a train. You can make it slither like a real train does, and he is a snake, so that's pretty nice to see. All the headers, the mouth does open, but it's only to a certain extent. You can't open them really wide, just really short, so it's not that bad. But I really do like this motif because we haven't used snake.
Now for the black and yellow Zords, they do have special safety connectors built in, so when you transform it into Megazord mode, they have locks.
So now we have Gosei Yellow's mecha, the Tiger. Now, you can see this one is more like a bulldozer feature because it does have the wheels that looks like a bulldozer.
But the wheels don't function. Actually, it has plastic wheels that make it simply move back and forth, not the actual tires.
Like the black, there's a safety lock right in the front to actually go when you transform it and when you transform it back out. The mouth does open to a certain extent, but this is actually, the Tiger and a few others are only ones that open really wide in mouths compared to some of the others. So now we have Blue's mecha, Gosei Shark. Now, of course, it's a shark. We've used shark many times already, mostly in Wild Force, and it's just a shark. He actually opens the most because he actually holds the sword when you push it in. And of course, it has wheels built in, so you can actually roll in the wheels. Now, the complaint I have is that when you fold the tail, you actually can put the clips actually come off really easily. They're not stationary in like that one, so it's not bad, but just be warned that these things can come off when doing transformation. So now we have the Gosei Great Megazord. Now of course it's all a combination now. And I really like this mode because you can actually see all 5 of them on specific places instead of being red being the whole center and then blue and pink or one color. And the only thing you can't move is the arm. That's about it. You can do it with the arms on both sides. Doesn't really matter. You can't really move the legs because they're stationary. But the good thing about the Gosei Great is that you can actually swap the heads. You can actually have Snake's head on the top. You can have them everywhere.
You can have it in the front, the back,
anywhere
side.
that you see connectors. Even on the wings, you actually can have them on the wings.
So you can form like different combos that were not in the show. For example, like if you want to have all the main 4 on top, you can if you want, or swap different heads.
Alright, alteration-wise, now there are a lot of changes to the Gosei Great. Of course, mainly much just paint job and other things. It's still a formal change. Now, one thing is that you cannot open the mouths in the American version of it, but you can do it in the Japanese one. But the Japanese one never had wheels, but the American ones do have wheels. The claws, or the feet, they're not painted in the claws. The neckline for Gosei Gray in the American, they didn't finish the gold outline right here. They changed the little color of the eyes. And of course, most notable changes, the sword and / tail. Now in the Japanese one, the Gosei Gray, you would have to actually flip the head, but now it doesn't, and it's also missing the green little diamond shape right here.
Another thing that's also changed is they changed the way the head comes out. You collapse the neck in order to transform it versus the Japanese one where the neck is actually part of the sword.
Another change is that instead of the Japanese one being you have to slide it in, there's only a peg here that you can actually do it. All the connector pieces for the headers, they're all changed. Now they didn't really change much. All they did was just color it in red and whatnot to the specific color of the Zord compared to the Japanese one where it was black.
The head wings are movable on the Japanese Gosei Gray. All the gold on the 5 Zords is slightly different from the Japanese Gosei Gray. The head black eye detailing was removed.
Another change is also the sword. The golden outline is actually gone, and of course now it holds a helmet. But the biggest change, which is the really good part about the Gosei Gray in the American, you can actually collapse the wings.
In the Japanese one, you were never able to collapse it, so the only way to have it so it's not wide is to put the wings up like this.
And so this is actually a good thing for the American version to actually have collapsible wings, which is a really smart thing for Bandai to do. Although I don't know why Bandai Japan didn't think of it too. It could still work almost the same way.
Now, the problem with the US one is that they changed the sword in a way that you could no longer connect it to the back, because the back part actually has a special connector for the sword.
Now onto Phoenix. Like Gosei Dragon, the connector for the headers has been changed to white, but it's still black here. We actually missed the outline right here for the pink. There is no silver paint around here. We're also missing the little green paint here for the connector, but we don't have the wheels in the back. Of course, the head does open compared to the American one that doesn't.
And for the transformation, the Japanese one lets you raise the wheels to the back, but on the US one, the wheels just stay where they are.
Gosei Black, the snake. Of course, you cannot slither with the Zord. In the Japanese one, you can slither it around like a real snake and like a train when it turns. In the American one, you really can't. It's just stationary thing.
And it also easily pops off for some weird reason.
The peg for the leg is really easy. So when you're forming this, yes, you can pop it off really easily.
The Japanese one, you don't. It basically collapses in to form it.
There was chrome on the Japanese one. The safety lock is also not
missing on the US one.
Snake does open his mouth, but not as much. But the only different change is there's wheels on it, and the American ones actually can't open their mouths at all.
The top part of the snake's head in the US one is painted gray, while the Japanese one isn't. And the entire side of the Japanese snake has more gray paint and green paint, while the US one is blank.
Gosei Tiger is, of course, the yellow scheme actually changed again. This is actually another time that we changed the yellow from a darker in the Japanese one to a lighter one. The eye is actually lighter than the Japanese version, and the Japanese version, the mouth opens. Another change is there's no safety lock.
They also removed the silver paint that's on his little claws over here on the US one.
And of course, the back, the whole back for the yellow is changed. It's now a peg instead of being a slip-on like in the Japanese version.
And the top part of the Tiger, it has more detail in the Japanese one versus the US one, and the side parts of the Tiger are gray.
The shock mainly much, we did not color in the actually teeth inside the American one. The Japanese one does open its mouth because it holds the sword. We did keep the little missile on the side, but instead we shortened it a bit. And of course, there was no green paint on it, and we're missing a bit of the silver paint.
Also, the wheels on the Japanese one are collapsible for the transformation, but on the American one, there's no wheels in the back.
The back of the tail is actually roughly the same, just that we have, of course, a lighter blue compared to a darker blue in the Japanese version.
And a more stiffer plastic, while the Japanese one's a little bit more flexible.
Overall, I really think that Bandai really did a really good job. They improved more on compared to the Samurai line. The Gosei Gray is actually really interesting. Both of them did come with the Gosei cards. The Japanese one came with the Gosei Gray card, and so did the American one. But the difference is that the American one also came with the Gosei Ground card too, when they formed the combination with Gosei Gray and Gosei Ground. you can actually do this to the Gosei Grey without actually having all the space being taken care of.
You can lower the Japanese one, but that's all you can really do. Other than that, that's it. You couldn't collapse. It's always in the way. It was very annoying when you have it. You wanted it as a display piece.
It doesn't really matter which one you guys pick up because they're both almost the same thing. Just that the Japanese one has the mouths that actually open and also of course the sword being in the bag. Also, the head is actually connected to the weapons of the blaster and a few other things. Now the American version also, you can actually scan the cards when you have the app on your smartphone and whatnot. Now it mainly much just shows you an action from like the Daiso cards, but other than that, that's all it can really do. But yeah, that's it for a review of both Gosei Greys. Join us next year for the Power Rangers RPM, the Paleo Max Megazord. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next year.
They seem to always do that whenever they do a full mold change. The yellow or the blue versions of the toys always have an either lighter color or darker color.
Also, another thing is that the weapons can actually connect to the, oh my god.
Plus every mode is supported, unlike the Samurai line where we couldn't do origami mode.
But yeah, that's it for a review of both Gosei Great Megazords. Join us next year for the Paleo Max Mega.
No, that's not Nick. Oh, it is Nick.
You idiot!
I failed.
You idiot! I had it perfectly.
January 5th. Oh.
Remember, you said December 29th.
Yeah, I'm dumbass.